all-night dharna.
That's right.
But here the proofs came in first. The visuals, so much of money, this video, this footage really hit not only, it's not only for the opposition, it is also for the people at large and people inside the party. Trinamool Congress was more concerned with what people are thinking inside the party and people at large. So they said that from the very first day, the statement of Trinamool Congress, the statement of Mamata Banerjee was, if somebody is guilty, even if life imprisonment is given, the party is okay with that. And Trinamool has a history that if there is a local leader, he is corrupted, if that's come to high command, then obviously some steps are taken. But this was Chatterjee. Now, who is Partha Chatterjee? Very close aide of Mamata Banerjee. Partha Chatterjee has been, for the very first day, he has been in Trinamool Congress. He has been in minister from 2011. He was the leader of opposition when Mamata was in opposition. So obviously, it was not a very easy decision. And the other thing was the pressure was mounting because of the so much of money that came out. And yesterday, 28 crores were actual, the nail in the coffin, that we can say. So much money coming out, really to compel them to take this decision that no, can't go anymore with Partho. And what we are having exclusive information is that 5 p.m. there's this meeting which Abhishek Banerjee has called in. It's a disciplinary committee meeting, and obviously steps will be taken there, that's for sure.
Kamalika Sengupta very succinctly pointing out and elucidating how there's a shift of stand that has happened by the TMC. And there is reason for that. The recoveries that have been made by the Enforcement Directorate, not just once but twice. And the raids might continue in the next few days as well. This and much more on the other side of a quick break. Stay tuned.
For the rest of the week from the Rajya Sabha after throwing papers at the chair. So far, 24 opposition MPs have been suspended since Monday. A decade after it was prevented from capturing data, Google Street View has come to India. It's now available on Google Maps in at least 10 cities. Bengaluru, Chennai, Delhi and Mumbai are covered right now. It's going to be expanded to 50 cities by the end of the year. Data collected will be entirely made available by local partners. The operation was paused back in 2011 after some people took objection to data privacy concerns. A Class 12 boy allegedly died by suicide today in Tamil Nadu in Sivagangai district. According to the police, a suicide note stated that he could not cope with math and biology. This is the 5th case in 2 weeks of a student dying in the state and the 2nd in just the last 24 hours. 4 schoolgirls have also died by suicide before this. 3 of them were studying in Class 12. A day before Prime Minister Modi is to inaugurate the Chess Olympiad in Chennai, a war is brewing between the BJP and DMK. BJP workers went around the city pasting photographs of the Prime Minister on billboards that were advertising the tournament, which had only featured Chief Minister M.K. Stalin. Amidst a severe heat wave, wildfires are raging across Europe and in the United States.
A destructive wildfire near Yosemite National Park is burning out of control. It has grown into one of California's biggest blazes of the year. Thousands of residents were ordered to evacuate the area. Nearly 2,000 firefighters are battling the blaze, but the sweltering heat is not helping matters. Firefighters from several countries have joined forces to battle a raging fire in the national park in Czech Republic. The fire has spread to neighboring Germany. The fire has destroyed several homes and razed nearly 1,000 hectares of the national park. A major fire continues to rage in southern Greece, burning homes and villages near ancient Olympiad. Hot and dry conditions along with the high winds have triggered wildfires in several parts of Greece.
U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's upcoming visit to Taiwan is causing a lot of tension. She would be the highest-ranking U.S. politician to visit since 1997, when the then Speaker Newt Gingrich visited. Pelosi has been a staunch critic of China. In fact, China has warned of resolute and strong measures if the visit were to indeed go ahead. China claims Taiwan as its own territory. There's in fact stated policy of reunification before 2049. China objects to any formal contact between Taiwan and the United States. A video showing a fiery stream of lava flowing through Kilauea, which is one of the 5 volcanoes that form Hawaii Island, has gone viral on social media. Kilauea is also considered to be one of the most active volcanoes in the region. The most recent and ongoing eruption began in September of 2021. Yesterday, we saw cars floating in the middle of a flooded market in Jodhpur. Today, people are wading through waist-deep water there.
People waded through waist-deep water just to get their hands on essential items.
जो एक बेसिक ज़रूरत है सबसे ज़्यादा कि पानी मिले, चाय मिले, खाना मिले, वो व्यवस्थाएं हो और उसके बाद में पानी का निकासी हो, लोगों के इंतजाम हो। अब आप बता रहे, आप कहीं गए।
When municipal authorities arrived at the spot to take stock of the situation, they were confronted by angry locals. The locals claimed that no help has come their way.
50 घंटों से पानी में डूबे हुए हैं, किसने राहत पहुंचाई? एक अफसर का नाम बताओ।
Heavy waterlogging has been reported across Jodhpur, forcing many to flee their homes. When this temple got flooded, the priest and his family were rescued with the help of a tractor.
Well, it's not just Jodhpur. Hyderabad too was pounded by nearly 100 millimeters of rain in just 2 hours, and the results were catastrophic.
Hyderabad's historic Musa Rambagh Bridge was closed due to heavy flow of rainwater in the Musi River. Barricades were
All right, some latest news coming in. Mamata Banerjee's first reaction after sacking Partha. She says, and I'm quoting, that I have relieved Partha Chatterjee from ministry, adding that TMC is a strict and a strong party. That's the word coming in from Didi after taking that action on her own cabinet minister. My colleague Kamalika Sen-Gupta is joining us on the broadcast. Kamalika, the statement from Mamata Banerjee on expected lines.
Yeah, she said that she has relieved Partha Chatterjee, and she has said that his party is very strong and very strict. At the same time, she has also said that the game is not simple as it looks, and there are other layers to this game as well. But I don't want to talk about this. So obviously, she is just not able to believe because obviously the people who have seen Trinamool Congress for so many years, and Mamata Banerjee herself has stood in the name of honesty. The party Mamata Banerjee stays in a very small home. Mamata Banerjee believes in, quote unquote, the Ma Mati Manush, and that's how she has nurtured the party. Probably the party high command still is not believing that this thing can happen. And this thing somebody like Partha Chatterjee can do it is unbelievable. That's what also is the feel inside the party. Let me tell you, we were talking across, various peoples, various leaders from the party in the last 48 hours or the last 7 days. All were saying the same thing, that this was something which was very much unexpected. So obviously, since so much of visuals have come up, since so much of money has come up, since so much of pressure is there, definitely they have taken a step, and they will be also taking the step of from the party line too. 5 p.m. the meeting will start in another half an hour. But the thing is that having said everything, having taken a strong decision, somewhere down the line, this feel too is there. That how is this possible?
Okay,
is it something which Partha has done, or is it a conspiracy? So in one way, Trinamool Congress is trying to show that they are strict. They have taken decision. They were looking into the matter for the last 7 days. But when the water just went out, the water level went up, then they had to take this decision.
Okay,
but
I also want to bring in
not,
Shogito Mukhopadhyay into the discussion. Shogito, what Kamalika is pointing out, that is this a complete realization within the party that there's something wrong? Or the statement of Mamata Banerjee that the game is not as simple as it looks, there are other layers to this game as well, but I don't want to talk about that. What is it that Didi doesn't want to talk about?
Well, definitely there is this political conspiracy angle that the Trinamool Congress is a section of the Trinamool Congress's top brass have also been hinting at. Especially the old guards of the Trinamool Congress, who have been, pointing at the several political conspiracies that are being hatched on the ground here in Bengal, in the wake of the fact that the BJP has already announced through leaders like Shubhendu Adhikari that after Maharashtra, it's the turn of Rajasthan and Jharkhand, and then the all eyes will be focused on Bengal. So there are conspiracy theories that are doing rounds on the ground in the political circuit of Bengal for many weeks now, especially after the dramatic turn of events in Maharashtra. Having said that, these are only presumptions whether Mamata Banerjee was actually hinting at any of those political conspiracies in the statement that she made today. We will never know until she actually speaks her mind.
True.
But the fact remains, and if you look at the timeline of how things have unfolded in the last week or so, the first eye opener was for the party, obviously, when the enforcement directorate unearthed that huge stash of cash from Arpita Mukherjee's Diamond City residence last week, which amounted to close to 22 crore rupees in cash. But what happened after that? The Trinamool Congress maintained a stoic stand that it will not remove Partha Chatterjee or any of the other leaders until they are proven guilty in a court of law, and that is because there was a concrete hint from the party's point of view on that day itself that there are other conspiracies that could be involved in this. Now, what happened in between in the next few days that the party took a U-turn and removed Partha Chatterjee from all positions in his cabinet, and as well as there is this strong possibility now that he would be also removed from his position within the party.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Only thing that happened in the meanwhile was the second haul of cash that happened from Arpita Mukherjee's residence in the Belghoria area in Clubtown Heights yesterday. And why did that change the game? Because obviously the perception or the public perception of the scam or the corruption was getting more and more exposed by the day, and that is the kind of political pressure which perhaps no political party can sustain, because the perception comes from the people.
That's
and
right.
it's the people's perception, it's the people's pressure that the political party has to succumb to, not the perception or the opposition, or the allegation raised by the opposition. As long as it was in the opposition camp, Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool Congress party was resisting it by putting up a certain stand. But when the perception began changing in a dramatic way, when more and more such skeletons started tumbling out of cupboard, when another haul took place in another residence where some 28 crore rupees and gold and ornaments worth about another 4.5 was discovered by the ED, it then occurred to the public perhaps that this may not be the end of it. There could be more and more and more, and when that happens, and when the party realizes that there is a change of perception on the ground, it is then that it becomes untenable for the party to sustain such a pressure. And that is why perhaps
very rightly said, Shogato. You're very right in pointing out that however and how many political caveats any political party may want to offer, but the public perception and what is being perceived on the ground, no smart political party can afford to miss that. I'm going back to Kamalika. Kamalika, we remember those visuals when Mamata Banerjee turned once again into a street fighter when she had to protect the Kolkata Police Commissioner Rajiv Kumar. You also gave a lot of examples of other politicians who have been under the scanner of the central agencies from TMC and the kind of stand that Didi had taken at that point in time. Despite the political caveats which are being put out, this is a huge departure for the TMC from its earlier position.
See, if we analyze it, it is actually Trinamool Congress is a party which always focuses on what is the need and requirement of people. That time's people's perception and this time people's perception has a difference. Where is the difference? The difference is that 21 crore photo or video that came out. The difference is that 28 crore visual, that 28 crore photo that came out. So, in Sharda, in Narda, whatever happened, the Narda sting, the visual was there, but it was a sting.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was a very much well conspired thing that they could say that point of time.
Yeah.
This point of time also, Mamata Banerjee has taken a decision of removing Partha Chatterjee from the ministry. The disciplinary committee, which is about to start, they will be taking the decision. But if you talk inside Trinamool Congress, then 50% of Trinamool Congress will say this,
Yeah.
that they just can't believe this, that
Okay.
this can be done by somebody like Partha Chatterjee,
Okay.
who is the Secretary General of the party. So because of that, as Shobhata was also pointing out, because of that perception thing, it is not a pressure from, the opposition pressure is there,
Yeah.
but the
yeah.
more pressure is about the public perception. So
Yeah.
we can't say that Trinamool has changed the stand.
Hmm.
Trinamool always follows what people requirement, need, and perception is. Now this
Interestingly
time the
put.
people
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
people's perception was in a gray area, that what's happening.
And they didn't
That
want to
was the
tread on the
generic
wrong side. It's
4.5
always good
million
to have
votes.
your eyes and ears on the ground, as you're rightly pointing out, Kamalika. Thank you so much for that analysis. My colleague Shogata Mukhopadhyay also getting us all the details. All voices and perspectives will continue here on CNN News 18, slipping into a very short break.
After some people took objection to data privacy concerns. A class 12 boy allegedly died by suicide today in Tamil Nadu in Sivagangai district. According to the police, a suicide note stated that he could not cope with math and biology. This is the 5th case in 2 weeks of a student dying in the state and the 2nd in just the last 24 hours. 4 schoolgirls have also died by suicide before this. 3 of them were studying in class 12. A day before Prime Minister Modi is to inaugurate the Chess Olympiad in Chennai, a war is brewing between the BJP and DMK. BJP workers went around the city pasting photographs of the Prime Minister on billboards that were advertising the tournament, which had only featured Chief Minister M.K. Stalin. Amidst a severe heat wave, wildfires are raging across Europe and in the United States.
A destructive wildfire near Yosemite National Park is burning out of control. It has grown into one of California's biggest blazes of the year. Thousands of residents were ordered to evacuate the area. Nearly 2,000 firefighters are battling the blaze, but the sweltering heat is not helping matters. Firefighters from several countries have joined forces to battle a raging fire in the national park in Czech Republic. The fire has spread to neighboring Germany. The fire has destroyed several homes and razed nearly 1,000 hectares of the national park. A major fire continues to rage in southern Greece, burning homes and villages near ancient Olympiad. Hot and dry conditions along with the high winds have triggered wildfires in several parts of Greece.
US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's upcoming visit to Taiwan is causing a lot of tension. She would be the highest-ranking US politician to visit since 1997, when the then Speaker Newt Gingrich visited. Pelosi has been a staunch critic of China. In fact, China has warned of resolute and strong measures if the visit were to indeed go ahead. China claims Taiwan as its own territory. There's in fact stated policy of reunification before 2049. China objects to any formal contact between Taiwan and the United States. A video showing a fiery stream of lava flowing through Kilauea, which is one of the 5 volcanoes that form Hawaii Island, has gone viral on social media. Kilauea is also considered to be one of the most active volcanoes in the region. The most recent and ongoing eruption began in September of 2021. Yesterday, we saw cars floating in the middle of a flooded market in Jodhpur. Today, people are wading through waist-deep water there.
People waded through waist-deep water just to get their hands on essential items.
जो एक बेसिक ज़रूरत है सबसे ज़्यादा कि पानी मिले, चाय मिले, खाना मिले, वो व्यवस्थाएं हो और उसके बाद में पानी का निकासी हो, लोगों के इंतजाम हो। अब आप बता रहे, आप कहीं गए।
When municipal authorities arrived at the spot to take stock of the situation, they were confronted by angry locals. The locals claim that no help has come their way.
50 घंटों से पानी में डूबे हुए हैं। किसने राहत पहुंचाई? एक अफसर का नाम बताओ।
Heavy waterlogging has been reported across Jodhpur, forcing many to flee their homes.
Welcome back, and here's talking about another political controversy in the state of Tamil Nadu. A face-off between the BJP and the ruling DMK erupted over the 44th Chess Olympiad that begins today in Mamalapuram. It all started with BJP showing their displeasure over the state government's publicity campaign for the Olympiad without a picture of Prime Minister on the billboards. To protest against the move, the displeased BJP workers glued the Prime Minister's pictures on the billboards, which were later removed and even defaced by some miscreants. But row now seems to be ending with the DMK government replacing the original billboards with the picture of the Prime Minister on the top. Purnima with this report.
This is Napier's Bridge, one of the iconic places in Chennai. This is constructed over the Kuvam, and this is the only place where you can find or see the river meeting with the sea. But as Chennai is all set to host the 44th International Chess Olympiad, this has also now become one of the tourist spots. A lot of citizens are in awe of how the entire theme is made. This is Napier's Bridge is now decked with the chess board. You know, many people here are coming, taking pictures. You can find whether it's teenagers, youth, or even the old people or children. All of them now coming here to get a glimpse of how this looks right now.
Recently I saw most pictures in the Instagrams and reels regarding this. So I came to the university to get my mark sheet. So while I'm coming here, I saw this speech, so I came to visit here. Most of the people are coming here to take pictures and enjoying the view from here.
इधर में मैं बहुत सारा फिल्म देखा इधर का, बहुत देखने का मन कर रहा था, सोचा मैं रुक के देखेगा। मैं ड्राइवर है, गाड़ी रोक के अभी फोटो खींच रहा है।
My colleague Purnima Murli is joining us live from Chennai, getting us more details on the story. Purnima, is the controversy over? Can we say that? And what kind of preparations for this huge event?
At the moment, the controversy has died down. Now been included in all the display boards and also the billboards. And this is the road that Prime Minister's convoy will take to reach the Nehru Stadium, where the inauguration of the 44th International Chess Olympiad will take place. And you can find scores of BJP cadre have already lined up. From many people started coming here, and right now you can find placards welcoming Prime Minister Narendra Modi, huge banners welcoming Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and this is the scene that you can see, and this is the route that Prime Minister will take to reach Nehru Stadium. How long have you been waiting here?
Yeah. 1 hour. Yeah, we will bless Narendra Modi to have 100 years, and he should change the entire world. Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram.
You know, many people are coming here. On the other side of the road also there are more and more BJP cadre now joining. You can find lots of people now joining, and that entire stretch, these roads are right now blocked, and only Prime Minister's convoy will arrive shortly. But you can find the queue is never ending. Thousands, tens of thousands of people have already gathered here, and they are here to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And this is the sound that you can see. Slogans being raised, praising Prime Minister, and also welcoming Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And these are the scenes en route to Nehru Stadium. Tens of thousands of people waiting for hours to get a glimpse of their Prime Minister. And this is the scene which is just about 200 to 300 meters away from the Nehru Stadium, and they've been waiting for long hours, and they are very excited, and they want to welcome the Prime Minister. எவ்வளவு நேரமா இங்க வெயிட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்க?
நாங்களா 4 மணி நேரம் வெயிட் பண்றோம்.
Oh, they've been waiting here for 4 hours. First time
இது.
ஓகே உங்களோட மெசேஜ் என்ன பிரைம்
என்னோட பிரமிஸ்னா மோடிஜி வந்து நிறைய நலத்திட்டங்கள் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. இன்னும் கிராமங்களுக்கு போய் அந்த மோடி திட்டத்தோட இருந்து போகணும். அதுக்கு மீடியா மூலயமா நீங்கள் எங்களுக்கு ஆதரவு தெரிவிங்க. அதுதான் ஒன்று. மதுரை புறநகர் மாவட்ட செயலாளர் பொன்னம்மாள்.
So she's travelled all the way from Madurai to come here, and they want to thank Prime Minister for certain central government policies that have benefited a lot of them. And she's travelled all the way from Madurai. She's been waiting here for 4 hours. But that's the scene here en route to Nehru Stadium, where Prime Minister's convoy will come anytime now. But more and more people are joining the crowds. You can find that this entire road is full of BJP cadre. More than 4 hours, and still many are still coming here because Prime Minister is expected to come in a short while from now. But everyone here is excited to see their leader, and you can find a lot of people raising slogans. There's dance, there's music, and people here are still waiting patiently, and they are very excited, and that's the mood that we can capture here. Just a short while from now, Prime Minister's convoy will come here, and people have been waiting here to get a glimpse of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. That's the scene here, just closer to the Nehru Stadium, where the inauguration is scheduled to take place at 6 p.m. today.
Purnima, chess is a game that is played and enjoyed by people across the country and across the world. But Tamil Nadu has a huge culture and a special connect to the game. Tell us a little bit more about that. How is this game so important for the ethos of the state?
Well, if you look at Tamil Nadu, we've had Vishwanath Anand, and Tamil Nadu also is very proud to host this event, which is why you've seen a lot of promotions happening ahead of the 44th chess Olympiad that's scheduled to kickstart today. And you can see that Chennai is always considered as the hub of chess, because there are many veterans here, including Vishwanath Anand, which is why Chennai was excited to host this. There are many themes related to the chess board that you can find across Chennai and en route to Mahabalipuram, where the event will happen. But at the moment, many Tamilians, many people from Chennai are proud that Chennai is hosting, and the tagline or the hashtag that they are using is Namma Chennai and Vanakkam Chennai, because they are proud that there are many veterans, including Vishwanath Anand, who are from Chennai, and the event is once again happening in Chennai, and everyone is excited. There are many themes across Chennai. You can spot many chess-based themes also across Chennai that the Tamil Nadu government has done. And every Tamilian is now proud that the event is going to kickstart here, and Prime Minister Modi will be inaugurating the 44th Chess International Olympiad.
Purnima, how does the program schedule really look like? You would have the Chief Minister, the Prime Minister himself. Who are the other key political dignitaries who would be present?
Well, it's mostly the BJP senior leaders and also the Tamil Nadu government. Remember, ADMK leaders are there waiting at the Chennai airport to receive Prime Minister. Both the ADMK leaders are there, but no major political leaders here except for the DMK politicians as well as senior leaders of the BJP. ADMK, of course, is there at the Chennai airport to receive Prime Minister, but here at the event venue, it's the DMK ministers, it's the DMK MPs, and the BJP senior leaders, including the state president Annamalai, who will be present at the event where the event will be kick-started.
Okay. Purnima Murli getting us all the updates from the ground. You can see people are gathering, BJP workers. You have them waiting for the last 4 hours, and in the next few hours from now, at around 6, that's when we are expecting the event to begin. You would have the Prime Minister and other key dignitaries from the BJP and the state. All eyes on those developments, slipping into a very short break.
The Border Roads Organization inaugurated a bridge to the hot springs, which is PP15. It's a 120-meter permanent bridge over the Shyok River. 255 kilometers, DSDBO road ends at an altitude of 16,614 feet. In fact, Colonel Chiwang Rinchen Setu is 45 kilometers from the China border. Eastern Ladakh is connected with roads as well as bridges. The Enforcement Directorate has filed a charge sheet against Delhi Minister Satyendra Jain in a money laundering case. His wife and business associates have also been named. Meanwhile, the Delhi High Court ruled that while it cannot direct Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal to remove Jain from his cabinet, it is for Mr. Kejriwal to consider whether a person with a criminal background shall continue as a minister. Aam Aadmi Party Sanjay Singh is the latest opposition MP to be suspended for unruly behaviour. He's been suspended for the rest of the week from the Rajya Sabha after throwing papers at the chair. So far, 24 opposition MPs have been suspended since Monday. A decade after it was prevented from capturing data, Google Street View has come to India. It's now available on Google Maps in at least 10 cities. Bengaluru, Chennai, Delhi and Mumbai are covered right now. It's going to be expanded to 50 cities by the end of the year. Data collected will be entirely made available by local partners. The operation was paused back in 2011 after some people took objection to data privacy concerns. A Class 12 boy allegedly died by suicide today in Tamil Nadu in Sivagangai district. According to the police, a suicide note stated that he could not cope with math and biology. This is the 5th case in 2 weeks of a student dying in the state and the 2nd in just the last 24 hours. 4 schoolgirls have also died by suicide before this. 3 of them were studying in Class 12. A day before Prime Minister Modi is to inaugurate the chess Olympiad in Chennai, a war is brewing between the BJP and DMK. BJP workers went around the city pasting photographs of the Prime Minister on billboards that were advertising the tournament, which had only featured Chief Minister M.K. Stalin. Amidst a severe heat wave, wildfires are raging across Europe and in the United States.
A destructive wildfire near Yosemite National Park is burning out of control. It has grown into one of California's biggest blazes of the year. Thousands of residents were ordered to evacuate the area. Nearly 2,000 firefighters are battling the blaze, but the sweltering heat is not helping matters. Firefighters from several countries have joined forces to battle a raging fire in the national park in Czech Republic. The fire has spread to neighboring Germany. The fire has destroyed several homes and razed nearly 1,000 hectares of the national park. A major fire continues to rage in southern Greece, burning homes and villages near ancient Olympiad. Hot and dry conditions along with the high winds have triggered wildfires in several parts of Greece.
U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's upcoming visit to Taiwan is causing a lot of tension. She would be the highest-ranking U.S. politician to visit since 1997, when the then Speaker Newt Gingrich visited. Pelosi has been a staunch critic of China. In fact, China has warned of resolute and strong measures if the visit were to indeed go ahead. China claims Taiwan as its own territory. There's in fact stated policy of reunification before 2049. China objects to any formal contact between Taiwan.
Namaste and welcome to this edition of The Nation at 5. I'm Anand Narasimhan. Ladies and gentlemen, we start this edition right at the top with news coming in from Assam. And it's a cause for concern, ladies and gentlemen, because it is fast emerging that there is a huge number of terror modules that are operating out of Assam, and then they are spreading or fanning out to the rest of the country. Now we have given to understand that in a follow-up of the crackdown that happened yesterday, where an Ansarul Bangla operative was actually arrested by the cops have now arrested a terror suspect by the name of Mufti Mustafa in Morigaon. So this follows the Goalpara arrest of an Ansarul Bangla operative. Now what they are saying is that Mustafa operated the Jamiul Huda Madrasa in Morigaon. The cops say Mustafa sheltered Ansarul Bangla team operative. Now the operative named Mehboob is a Bangladeshi national. Mehboob provided training to Ansarul Bangla sleeper cells in Assam. Ansarul Bangla has its affiliation with the Al-Qaeda in the Indian subcontinent. So that is the reason why this terror outfit is of serious concern, because they are also in touch with the Jamaatul Mujahid in Bangladesh, and their operatives largely are emerging out of Bangladesh, ladies and gentlemen, and the AQIS also finds heavy presence in Bangladesh at this point. Now, the ABT operative or the Ansarul Bangla operative named Mehboob is a Bangladeshi national. He provided training to sleeper cells. Mustafa provided Mehboob logistical support from the madrasa. Cops arrested 22-year-old Ali from Goalpara for aiding Mehboob. Ali provided Mehboob shelter and logistical support from his home. Ansarul Bangla team operative Mehboob currently is absconding. So these are huge amounts of concern because this is not the first module that's been busted. Just last month and before that also successively there have been Ansarul Bangla AQIS affiliated operatives who have been nabbed by the Assam police. They went all the way even up to Bangalore to try and nabbed one of the accused and who was hiding in Bengaluru after committing the blast and the attack and the murder in Sylhet in Bangladesh. So let's listen into the reactions that have come in so far. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has reacted and so has the Assam DGP. Let's listen in.
हमने असम का बरपेटा और मोरीगांव जिला में 2 जिहादी मॉड्यूल को हमने पकड़ा और ये जिहादी मॉड्यूल का साथ इन्वॉल्व सारे लोगों को अरेस्ट किया। जो मॉड्यूल को हमने एक्शन लिया वो मॉड्यूल को लीड कर रहा था एक मद्रासा का शिक्षक ने, लेकिन उनको क्या हम जनरलाइज करना सही है नहीं सही है उसका ऊपर हम लोग ने कितना इंफॉर्मेशन हमारा पास आते हैं हम देख लेता हूँ।
We have already busted several ABT modules, you know about it. Ansarul Bangla team, the modules, we have already busted several. So AQIS is now showing bit of an interest for expansion into India's northeast. So there could be some effort to radicalize youngsters and things like that. But in Assam, our boys and girls are doing fine. They are not getting radicalized so much. Some quarters they are trying to do it, but now we are going to stop it.
Now the problems are manifold. Even before we go across to our guests, I'm going to bring in Niloy, who's been tracking the story. Niloy, this is not the first module. This is for the 3rd or the 4th module. But increasingly, it's the presence of illegals on Indian soil. And Assam seems to be a hotbed for these Bangladeshi radicals.
Definitely this seems so, Anand, because there has been 5 modules, 1 Borpeta module, Goalpara module, 1 NIA case has been probe is on, 1 Jonia module, and now today this is the Morigaon module. So 5 modules, 10 jihadis, suspected jihadis has been arrested in the last 48 hours. Yesterday it was Abbas Ali, 22 years old, Abbas Ali, a imam who has sheltered Mehboob. Mehboob is a ABT activist from Bangladesh, a Bangladesh nationalist. He came here, he stayed in Bongaigaon in Abbas Ali's house, where Abbas Ali provided all necessary logistical support, a SIM card to Mehboob, and then this particular Mehboob had travelled all the way from Bongaigaon to Morigaon, where today Mufti has been arrested. Mufti Mustafa, he runs a madrasa in Morigaon district of Assam, and where Mehboob has he came here, he stayed in this madrasa where this Mufti Mustafa supplied SIM card to him, supplied all the logistical support, and Mufti, this Mehboob's duty was to train the sleeper cell. His duty was to actually indoctrinize or radicalize these people and supply literature to them to study, give physical training to them, and also hit their cognizance, and then they would eventually become the sleeper cell. So along these particular madrasa have been sealed, along with Mufti, his brother and another teacher have been picked up for interrogation, and Mufti Mustafa, he is a Islamic law graduate from Bhopal and has relations with Madhya Pradesh and UP. He was also teaching in a all-girls madrasa where 4 teachers have been picked up for interrogation. Along with this, along with the madrasa in Morigaon, another 7 suspected jihadis have been arrested in Borpeta district today. This is the Borpeta module, out of which one has been picked up from Guwahati itself, where he was working here. So 10 arrests in 48 hours, where the DGP has said that Al-Qaeda in Indian subcontinent is active and is a reality and is trying to spread its tentacles throughout the length and breadth of the state. So definitely
one thing I want to understand.
Second,
another point. Yes, Niloy, complete, and then I'll come to the other question. Yeah, complete. Second point.
Yes, Anand. The second point is about the literature, because Al-Qaeda has released its quarterly the magazine in Bengali language, Bangla language. Now, this clearly signifies the intention of Al-Qaeda, where people from Bangladesh, people from West Bengal, and people from Assam, particularly the East Bengal population, the Bengali-speaking minority of East Bengal origin who have migrated to Assam and are staying here, these people, these youths can understand the intention of Al-Qaeda, literature of Al-Qaeda. Therefore, for the first time, Al-Qaeda has published literature, his weekly, the quarterly magazine in Bangla language.
Now, these are causes for serious concern, Niloy. How many of these 10 operatives who have been nabbed or arrested in the last 48 hours are genuinely Indian citizens? That's a big concern. And if these people have all come from Bangladesh, what are they doing on Indian soil? And you are now clearly telling me that they have fanned out and they have got operations or networks into other parts of the country too. As far as Bangalore, they are there in Madhya Pradesh, they are in Uttar Pradesh.
Definitely, yes. And another serious concern, Anand, is that according to the SP of Morigaon, this particular person, Mufti Mustafa, his account, there has been foreign transaction right from 2019, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21 and 22. There has been umpteen transaction where money has flown in, has been pumped into the madrasa. Foreign funding is there. Now the police are investigation that, and not only this, he has got the funding, he has disbursed the funding also, he has distributed money. So the police are now investigating where from the money has come and into what work this money was spent. But what people, what the police and the investigating agencies believe, that these money has been used in these kind of activities which have been carried out by ABT and AQIS.
Right. Now, thanks for the inputs, Niloy. I've just lost connection with with you there, but we will just quickly try and go forward and take the story forward. Niloy, great information. 10 operatives who've been cracked down in the last 48 hours. 5 different modules from 5 different districts or areas of Assam. I have Pathikrit Pine with me. I also have Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni with me. But more importantly, I'm going to first go across to B.L. Vora, former DGP Assam. B.L. Vora ji, this is a serious concern, sir.
It is indeed a serious concern. I was not DGP Assam, but I was DGP Manipur and Tripura. Now, let me tell you that the activities of these elements, fundamentalists, have been continuing in the Northeast for a very long time. And earlier, when Bangladesh had not come into being, it was all Pakistan, and ISI, through its fundamentalists and other agencies, was trying to spread this nuisance in the entire Northeast at that time. After Bangladesh came into being, still some elements continue to do so, and there were initially some people who were supporting the ISI. These people will always make an effort. It's good. It goes to the credit of the police that they have been able to crack down this. But I'm sure that they must have busted many more modules, but many more will be there. And I think catching 10 people with so much of evidence available is a big achievement. But we have to be on our guard all the time, because these people will not let any opportunity to go to destabilize the Northeast and thereby India.
But Voraji, how are these people coming into India? What are they doing and how are they able to establish base in Assam? And they seem to be many in number. They are also setting up madrasas. These madrasas are now being operated as safe havens for radicals and terrorists. And then you have imams. The role of these people, how are they getting any currency purchase and also legitimacy there? How are they able to build madrasas and run? Is there no check on their antecedents? And
Their
what are
main
Bangladeshis doing on Indian soil?
Their main route is Bangladesh. As you know, we have a very, very long border with Bangladesh, with many states of the northeast, from West Bengal to Tripura to Assam. We have borders with so many, and these madrasas have been there for a long time, even in these states, and they were all funded earlier by, as you know, the some elements in the Middle Eastern countries, and from even some elements from Saudi Arabia and all. This has been going on for ages. It is not new, and Boris and the border is porous. They have sympathetic elements on either side, so they are allowed to come in with the active support of even the
So you are saying that there is a certain level of active political support or administrative support which are there. There are sympathizers. Then these sympathizers are far more dangerous because they are really, really enemies of the state, Mr. B.L. Vora. So then why aren't we cracking them or cracking down on them? How is it that we are okay to compromise on our sovereignty and then only crack down on make 10 or 12 arrests and then make everything, allow everything to die down? What these people can do tomorrow, nobody knows. This is a huge terror and security threat for us.
Absolutely, this is a huge, huge challenge, and this is a big danger. As you know, even the demography in states like Assam has changed. Even in Tripura, of course, Tripura more Hindus came than the Muslims. And as you know, there is a very big chunk of Bangladeshi population in Assam, and that is why we all had this foreigners issue. And you know, the Assam Students Union had done bunds and all that. So this is a serious matter. This threat has always been there, as I said in the beginning itself. We have to be more alert. We have to be fast. And now with Pakistan having an access with China, because China also has been fishing in world waters.
Yes.
It has also trying to travel northeast. So I think it's a serious issue. I'm glad that some police has done it, but there'll be many more skeletons in the cupboard, I'm sure.
No, not just skeleton. There are pests because these are also parasites. They're living off our country. They're living off our land. They're snatching the jobs that belong to the people. They're Indian citizens, Lieutenant General Kulkarni. These are illegals. Even if they have, if they are somehow able to get some papers done, if they have entered our country illegally, they have to be deemed illegals. This is an emergency call for an NPR and an NRC, especially in Assam. Look at the number of cases, sir. 24th of July, IB arrests a Bangladeshi operative and somebody who's hailing from Assam in Bangalore. They have connections with somebody who is in Salem. These guys are spreading all over the place, and with them radicalism is spreading. They are using madrasas, they are using imams. These imams are also working like OGWs.
Anand, there is no doubt this complete thing has a historical baggage also. If you go back to 1946, when Suravadi was the chief minister of this entire area, what they call it as Lebanon's from, and they wanted to spread all these Bengalis who were there over there into Assam. And this also created a lot of problems. And now when Jawahari has the Al-Qaeda and is been talking about hijra means emigration, which is more severe than jihad, because that involves spreading people of the Islamic culture into it and then staying there and getting prosperous. And you find Assam was always a soft bed of it, and that is why you find all these terror modules are spreading. There is a porous border. Anybody and everybody, like what the DGP is talking about, can come in from anywhere. And that is where all these people come in as Arabic teachers in this. Then radicalize people over there, where ensured logistics is available, funding is available, and then now with Al-Qaeda having quarterly magazines which are in Bengali language to spread across this area, it's a very, very dangerous situation. And Assam was always a soft bed because it had the density of population in Assam vis-a-vis erstwhile Bengal was much, much less. And therefore, it was since prior to independence it was there. And all those who are associated with Suravadi, we know less said the better, who were involved with him and all these massacres also took place, and the spread of the Bengali speaking population in Assam also spread. This is the result of these terror modules. That is why you have ABT, you have Jamanalida, Muslimin. They change their names on and off, get funded. They come in as madrasa teachers, try and teach Arabic, radicalize people over there, and now have tentacles spread from Bangalore, Jammu to Assam. All districts, Barpeta, all these districts are hotbed. Assam is fully aware of it.
If they are
know,
hotbeds,
and I was posted there.
if there are hotbeds, if you are aware, General Kulkarni, you are saying you are aware. B.L. Vora ji is saying that he is aware. Himanta Biswa Sarma has identified 5 core sects among the Muslim community in Assam, saying that these are indigenous people and these are indigenous, and we are going to recognize them. He's gone to that. He's gone to the fact that he wants to have centralized education and modern education being imparted in the madrasas, and no funding of the state funding will go to these madrasas. And if they want, they have to be aligned and they have to turn themselves into schools. He's actually saying shut down all these madrasas. Now, there is a case that is being built, Pathikrit Pain. Even though Himanta Biswa Sarma says one madrasa, I cannot generalize for everybody. But if this is happening, then it has to be shut down. There cannot be any cover fire given to people who are not Indians. And they don't come to India with any other intention than to be parasites, suck off this country and live off this country and then go ahead and spread radicalism here. Why are we tolerating people with Ansarul Bangla, AQIS backgrounds? Even those people who work as OGWs should be brought under the PSA, a Public Safety Act. And they should be slapped with the harshest of the offenses. This is serious.
Anand, I'm making 2 statements with a lot of responsibility. Number one, there are already millions of Bangladeshis living in Bangladesh who already have Indian Aadhaar card and Indian voter card. They come to India whenever they can and whenever they want. Secondly, till 2016, I can say it with responsibility, till 2016, when these madrasas were being built, when everything else was happening, the law enforcement agencies, everybody else actually looked the other side. They knew what was happening. They didn't do anything. Why? Because there was political backing. Okay, so it didn't happen in one day. It didn't happen in one day. Third, all these things happen in a place where the demography has already, altered for good or bad, whatever you say. And all these places, there are 3-4 things go hand in hand. Cattle smuggling, cross-border fake currency transport, cross-border narcotics, cross-border arms, hawala, everything together. And radicalization, when it is done, when it is completed, some would join hardcore terror organizations. Others will be overground workers. The rest will be, part of organized gangs doing the organized violence against certain communities. And then some would do the targeted killings. So it is an entire edifice which has already been there working, and they have been doing it very successfully. And the traditional barriers between all these terror organizations are breaking. They're converging. So frankly speaking, they are very, very dedicated in terms of what to do. Assam government is trying. Assam is the only state perhaps in India which is talking about completely closing down madrasas and replacing them and coming out with nursing institutions, pharma institutions, other things. The rest of the states, I don't know what they're doing. The state is very active. They're trying to do something. But today, we are tired of these excuses that we have a porous border. Do we have a national policy, Anand?
We'll come back to this in just a bit. Going across to these pictures as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is there in Tamil Nadu to inaugurate the 44th Chess Olympiad. We're getting these pictures. I'm just going to go across to this and then we'll come back. We'll come back to these. So amidst a lot of political argy-bargy that's happened with some fringe groups trying to deface the face or the picture of the Prime Minister and trying to de-link him. The DMK playing its politics where they refuse to even take the Prime Minister's name and even give credit to the government of India, central government in their promos, etc. And the way they talked about the Chess Olympiad. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is present at this event at the 44th Chess Olympiad as the participants are walking in. We also see the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin present, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also be present. These are the opening ceremony shots of the 44th Chess Olympiad. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be inaugurating the Olympiad. Prime Minister was in Sabarkantha earlier today, but we'd have to see if his presence will be virtual at this event. But we do see the Chess Olympiad ceremony underway. Purnima Murli with us with more details. Yes, Purnima. Purnima, if you can hear me, we see Rajinikanth present there. India is playing host to the Chess Olympiad for the first time, and this is the 44th edition.
Absolutely. Namma Chennai is all set to host the 44th International Chess Olympiad event. Among the dignitaries present at the inauguration event, where Prime Minister will arrive in a short while from now, is Rajinikanth also, because Rajinikanth, even on Twitter, was saying that chess has been his favorite indoor game, and he's one of the chief guests who will be present at the venue. Apart from Rajinikanth, there are other celebrities also who are, in fact, who will be present there. And among the political parties, it's mostly by the DMK MPs and the DMK MLAs and ministers will be there, and senior leaders of the BJP will be there. ADMK Chief Hereby is at the Chennai airport to receive Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And we are en route to Nehru Stadium, where you can find scores, tens of thousands of BJP workers who have lined up for more than 4 to 5 hours to get a glimpse of their leader. You can find many people here waiting patiently, and now that Prime Minister has reached Chennai and will be here anytime now, they are now, there's excitement in the air, and you can find a lot of people right now waiting to see Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and these are the visuals. This is where Prime Minister will come in a short while from now, and everyone here is excited.
நாங்க அரை மணி நேரம் தான் நிக்கிறோம், half an hour தான் நிக்கிறோம். PM இல்லையா, 24 நேரம் கூட நிற்போம். PM-க்காக ஒரு நாள் கூட நிற்போம். நாங்க பாரத் மாதா கே, பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சி, பாரத் மாதா கே, பாரத் மாதா கே.
There you can find people saying that they've been waiting here for 4 hours. They are ready to wait for even 24 hours to see their Prime Minister. That's the word that's coming in. Majority of them are BJP cadre. They've traveled not just from Chennai. Many of them have traveled from the southern part of Tamil Nadu also. And these are the people who are here waiting patiently. You can find people from all walks of life also now being part of this. Apart from the BJP workers, there are other citizens also who've joined these queues waiting for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, waiting to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi. These are the scenes just 200 meters away from the Nehru Stadium, where Prime Minister will inaugurate the 44th International Chess Olympiad. Back to you.
Well, Purnima, what time is the Prime Minister expected? Because we're given to understand that the inauguration, the ceremony has already begun. There are already guests in attendance. We see Rajinikanth present there. Like you said, he's always said that chess is one of his favorite indoor games, and there are supporters there. We also have the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin, present at the venue. What time is the Prime Minister expected? Has he already landed in Chennai? There are a lot of supporters present. So has this entire controversy of trying to deface the Prime Minister, marginalize his presence and also his visibility, has all that now been set aside?
Prime Minister is expected to reach the venue at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. is when the inauguration will happen. Prime Minister will reach the venue at around 6 p.m. as per the schedule. Prime Minister has landed in Chennai airport, and he is now meeting with the BJP leaders as well as ADMK Chief Edapadi Palaniswamy at the airport. After which he will come closer to INS Adyar by helicopter. After that, they will come by road. This is the road that leads to the Nehru Stadium. So 6 p.m. is when the inauguration is all set to begin. Prime Minister has already reached Chennai, and in the next 15-20 minutes, he will take this route to go to the stadium.
I'll come back to you. Let's just go across and dip into the live proceedings there.
Bharat
இன்னொரு முறை உங்களுடைய பலத்த கரகோஷங்கள் for the Sunshine Orchestra. வந்தே மாதரம். இந்த பாடலை எப்போ நம்ம கேட்டாலும் நம்மளுடைய இதயத்தை தாண்டி ஆன்மாக்குள்ள ஒரு உணர்வு உண்டாகுதுல்ல. Just a beautiful way to progress this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And அது மட்டும் இல்லாம flag marchல நீங்க பார்த்த ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டுமே தமிழ்நாடு அரசு பள்ளியில படிச்சுக்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க. And அது மட்டும் இல்லாம ஸ்டேட் லெவல் செஸ் காம்படிஷன்ஸ் உடைய வின்னர்ஸும் அவங்க. எதிர்காலத்துல கண்டிப்பா இவங்கள்ல இருந்து நிறைய செஸ் கிராண்ட் மாஸ்டர்ஸ் நம்ம பார்க்க போறோம். And அதற்கான முதல் படி இது. Ladies and gentlemen, அடுத்தது என்ன அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, இந்தியாவுடைய பன்முகத்தன்மை, கலாச்சாரம், அதனுடைய வடிவங்கள் எல்லாமே கலை மூலமா ரொம்ப தெளிவா தெரிவிக்கலாம். இந்த வகையில் இந்தியாவின் 8 விதமான கலை வடிவங்களை இப்போ உங்களுக்காக நாங்க வழங்க போறோம்.
Barricades were put up to prevent the entry of any vehicles on the bridge, and people were advised to take alternate routes.
This road junction has definitely been cut off because of the flood waters, but authorities say that this is going to take at least another day for the water to clear off the bridge.
One biker got stuck in the middle of the Himayat Sagar Service Road bridge due to overflowing flood waters. He clung on to the railing on the side of the bridge as knee-deep water flew rapidly across the bridge. Soon after, traffic police personnel arrived in a recovery van to rescue the biker. The team tied a chain to the bike and helped the man hop onto the van. With heavy rains predicted in Hyderabad for the next 3 days, residents have been advised against stepping out unless absolutely necessary.
At least 23 people were injured after a Himachal roadways bus met with an accident. The bus was on its way from Nagrota to Shimla when it rolled down the road and fell into a gorge in the Hiranagar area. The injured passengers have been shifted to a local hospital. After a series of mid-air mishaps, aviation regulator DGCA has ordered SpiceJet to operate just 50% of its flights for 8 weeks. During these 8 weeks, the airline will be subjected to enhanced surveillance. SpiceJet says the move will have no impact on its flights in the lean travel season and no flights will have to be cancelled. India is boosting its road links to the line of actual control as the stalemate continues with China. The Border Roads Organization inaugurated a bridge to the hot springs, which is PP15. It's a 120-meter permanent bridge over the Shyok River. 255 kilometers, DSDBO road ends at an altitude of 16,614 feet. In fact, Colonel Chiwang Rinchen Setu is 45 kilometers from the China border. Eastern Ladakh is connected with roads as well as bridges. The Enforcement Directorate has filed a charge sheet against Delhi Minister Satyendra Jain in a money laundering case. His wife and business associates have also been named. Meanwhile, the Delhi High Court ruled that while it cannot direct Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal to remove Jain from his cabinet, it is for Mr. Kejriwal to consider whether a person with a criminal background shall continue as a minister. Aam Aadmi Party Sanjay Singh is the latest opposition MP to be suspended for unruly behaviour. He's been suspended for the rest of the week from the Rajya Sabha after throwing papers at the chair. So far, 24 opposition MPs have been suspended since Monday. A decade after it was prevented from capturing data, Google Street View has come to India. It's now available on Google Maps in at least 10 cities. Bengaluru, Chennai, Delhi and Mumbai are covered right now. It's going to be expanded to 50 cities by the end of the year. Data collected will be entirely made available by local partners. The operation was paused back in 2011 after some people took objection to data privacy concerns. A class 12 boy allegedly died by suicide today in Tamil Nadu in Sivagangai district. According to the police, a suicide note stated that he could not cope with math and biology. This is the 5th case in 2 weeks of a student dying in the state and the second in just the last 24 hours. 4 schoolgirls have also died by suicide before this. 3 of them were studying in class 12. A day before Prime Minister Modi is to inaugurate the Chess Olympiad in Chennai, a war is brewing between the BJP and DMK. BJP workers went around the city pasting photographs of the Prime Minister on billboards that were advertising the tournament, which had only featured Chief Minister M.K. Stalin. Amidst a severe heat wave, wildfires are raging across Europe and in the United States.
Here we have Odyssey.
तारिता झमता झम तारे झम झेणाता झमता झम तारे झम तारिता झमता झम तारे झम झेणाता झमता झम तारे झमता
Kathakali and Mohiniyattam. And finally, Bharatanatyam.
கையாளும் யூகம் மதிவியூகம் தரும் சூட்சம